Yes, I am going to remove my glasses for this one. My perspective about what women brings to the table. Listen, guys, I think this is 2026. I know 2026, okay? So the question of what women brings to the table should be actually focused on. Because I don't understand why I will be a man working hard to make an ends meet, to make a living for myself and my family. And I will be the only one standing out doing that. And my wife will just fold hands and be watching me do this. No, I don't think it's possible. I think it is high time women started bringing enough to the table. This thing called union in marriage is a union. It should be 50-50. Now, I'm not saying 50-50 like everything. You know, in terms of provision to the family, in terms of paying bills, it doesn't have to be 50-50 because a man is always the head of the family, right? But a woman should be the neck because even the Bible says that. At least a woman should have something doing. I'm not of the opinion where women should just be an automatic housewife, where you will just sit and allow your man to go out, come back, pay bills, do things, and even cater for the... No, I don't think. I think those are the times of the old. It is new era. In fact, me personally, I cannot have anything to do with a woman if you're not working. Personally, yes, I will not. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it to the camera. I cannot have anything to do with a woman that is not working class. But when you're working class, you don't have to be richer than me. You cannot be richer than me. Yes, because I think when you get richer than me, there's going to be this sort of power tussle. Yes. A lot of women of this generation have that power tussle, especially when they are richer. But you don't have to be richer than me. At least be rich to an extent. Let's match up. So maybe if I want to pay bills, if I'm having some sort of issue, financial crisis, I could say, okay, babe, I have 60% of the house rent. Bring 40. Bring 30. That's how a family should be. So if I am going to be getting married, okay, of course I'm getting married, but when I'm getting married, my wife to be would have to tell me, show me what she's bringing to the table. You understand what I mean? Because there's no way I am going to be struggling in this current economy and struggling alone. It is not possible. My wife will have to be educated, working class, and intellectual. These are very, very important. I mean, for me, it is even more important than love itself. It is more important than love itself because just like some women say, just like this slogan, now love will go chop. No, we're not going to chop love now. But then, a woman should always bring something to the table. I am of that opinion, and that is my take. Thank you. I rest my case.
Okay. First of all, I personally don't think this question should ever be asked about what women bring to the table. Okay, I'm coming back to women. Firstly, let me talk about something you mentioned that I really want to expatiate on. You talked about, wanting your wife to to be more richer than you.
Yes. Yes.
So it just explains how much of your insecurity you are projecting on a woman. Now the thing is, a woman can be rich. Okay, in this society nowadays, you find men being men are so how am I going to put it? I don't know this word, but a lot of men don't want women to even, let me put it this way, they don't want them to prosper. Yes, you don't want them to prosper. If you don't want a woman to be richer than you, okay, let's say for instance, a woman has something she's doing that brings in money for her. She has multiple means of and sources of income that brings in money for her, and you as a man is doing just a 9-to-5 job. Take for instance, how is that one going to have more than you? Now let's leave that aside. The question of what the women bring to the table, I really personally don't feel is a question that needs to be asked. Firstly, let me not even go to the aspect of menstruation, this, that. Let's go straight to
You say childbearing.
yes,
That's the only thing they used to use. Childbearing.
Childbearing is a trauma on its own. So I was going through the internet. I'm not a mother yet. I have not given birth. But I've had several women share their experiences. I was going through the internet. I think it was yesterday or a few days ago, and I saw several cases of women after childbirth. What happens then? Someone lost her eyesight just after childbirth. Someone became, she said having allergic reactions, very serious allergic reactions that later ended up killing her.
But that is an obligation from God. That is what God has bestowed on. That's your obligation.
Okay, God has bestowed it on women.
On women to procreate. Yes.
Personally.
Okay, but what about the pressure the society mounts on men? When you are over 40 and you're not married and you've not built your house, you've not gotten a car, do you know how people look at you as a man? Look at the pressure from the society, from the world at large.
Fine.
Who is talking about that one?
No, the thing is,
justice for men. Justice for men
is not only on men. That is what you guys refuse to see. The pressure is not only on men. As a woman, if you are in your, let's say 25 upward, and you don't have something you are doing for yourself, you don't have something that is bringing money in for yourself, the society is also hard on you.
I beg to disagree. There is no way. See, if you see a 25 years old woman walking on the road, jobless, they will call her an independent woman. But if you see a 30 years, 25 years old man, they will call him poor, jobless.
I disagree.
It is happening everywhere.
No,
it is happening everywhere.
I totally disagree with you. I totally disagree with you. The same way, well, the society is cruel to everyone in general.
Especially men.
No, don't say that. The society is also cruel to women.
Okay, let's not debate. Now, you spoke about childbearing.
Yes.
So is childbearing enough to call it what women brings to the table?
I think it's more than enough. If you ask me, yes, I think it's more than enough. Okay, fine. I understand the aspects where you said women should also have things they need to support their husband, their boyfriends.
What they bring to the table
is good. I personally would not recommend a jobless woman. At least every woman.
So you agree that women should bring something to the table?
Well, not exactly.
Okay, wait. All right, wait. What happens in a marriage where there is no children, there is no fruits of the womb? What happens? So what will now be the job of the woman if there is no babies in that marriage?
Well, it's not good for a woman to be idle. I'll say this. It's not good for a woman to be idle. In fact, it brings more honor to you as a woman to be able to support your man.
For her sake or for the sake of the family?
For the sake of everybody.
Okay. So you're agreeing to what I'm saying, that women should always bring something to the table. Is that what you're saying?
Partially, not totally. Yes, because women already brings more than enough. The thing is, this topic cannot even be, it cannot be overemphasized, because I don't even, if we start talking about it, it might take us a whole day.
Okay, listen guys. See, I don't know why women, it's not just that, women in general, keeps making this childbearing thing like the only thing. I'm not saying it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's easy.
Do you know it's life-threatening?
Of course it's life-threatening. But then, as a man, think about this. Once you clock 25, your mother, your father, your siblings, in fact, if your brothers have kids, your nieces, your nephews are already looking up to you as an uncle, as their son, like your parents. Everybody is expecting you to start taking care of your family. They don't care whether you're successful enough or not. They just want you to be that man. Now, sometimes, do you know why men are always pressured to do things, to go into things they shouldn't be doing? Have you traveled lately? Your own parents will be the one telling you, you see that house behind? It's a Mecca that built it. You see that one in front? It's Chinedu that built it. That is the pressure that naturally engulfs men. So now, if a man is going to be struggling like that, you tell me, having those pressures from the society, from the nuclear family and all that, then what happens to the woman you call your partner? Partnership should be financial partnership, because nobody is meant to die alone in this kind of situation.
But so God told Adam he was going to till the soil before he'll be able to feed.
Are we going there now? And God gave women God gave women that what is it even called? That persuasion to carry, to procreate, isn't it? So please, we should understand that in this topic. Women must also bring to the table. Thank you.